Well, the guests in our next feature certainly have motivated us. Every animal has a story, and thanks to one farm in Waseca, animals that have lived a challenging life now have a second chance.
I loved this place. We take you to Aspyn Acres Wildlife Farm and Sanctuary near Waseca, where they help their guests start a new chapter in their life.
We were at the point in our lives where we were looking to get out in the country and kind of find some space outside of town after living in town for about 10 years. And this place happened to come up for sale, and it had the acreage and the barn, and with that came the first couple animals, and I guess the rest is kind of history.
I've always worked with animals.
And I grew up on a farm as well, so
yeah.
like I've been around animals.
It all kind of came when we lost a baby in 2018. And I've always cared for animals, and I needed something to do to keep my mind busy. And so I started working with a wildlife rehabber up in Kilkenny and helping out there, and decided, you know, maybe it's time to go legal and get our own permits and have everything on the books. And that's where it actually started. And then we started slowly getting bigger there, and then moving towards, oh, well, we could take in a few animals that need help on the farm side of things, and it just kind of snowballed that way. Sometimes we get a call and they're like, oh, these animals have some sort of issue. One's, you know, they're blind, or they have a lung issue, their mobility isn't right, something like that.
And a lot of times there are people that, versus like, you know, the old school thought of, well, they call the animal. They don't want to do that. So if they can provide something for that animal that gives them a sense of life, then they do. And that's kind of like a good example is one of the cows out here was a calf that was born blind in a good-sized beef herd, and that calf would have been, you know, wouldn't have been able to survive in that situation. So she came out here and she's thrived, you know. And that was an example of those people were very compassionate about these cows, even though they are their livelihood.
Say we get a call about like a neglect case or abuse through the Humane Society investigation team. We can be a place for, you know, either holding, or if they're a good fit, they can come and stay, and they get all their bedding and everything done. And down here for permanent residents, 27, I believe. The wildlife, we have hit our 100th intake for the season. We intake and do like triage and transport out of everything, but we mostly work with squirrels and bunnies. Right now we have woodchucks.
It's been an interesting, eye-opening experience, and it's hard to believe that some of these situations, but a lot of times, you know, like we said, we can provide a better outcome than where they came from, and that's kind of a pretty rewarding experience. And then on top of that is the people that come out and see the animals and take enjoyment in those animals.
We have now partnered with some of the organizations in our community that provide for people with disabilities. So they'll come out and either visit, hang out with the animals, or we provide a volunteer space, you know, for some of these organizations to come out and have these people help animals.
And just have a time out kind of in the farm setting and just being out. People that just want to bring their kids out.
Yeah, come on out and do chores, see what it's like to be on the farm, hang out with the animals, that kind of thing. So yeah, we've seen a lot of positive.
It's been a lot of positive
outreach.
things.
Yeah, we are fully donation funded, yeah, and self-funded. So
we started out. We just recently got the nonprofit status. Before that,
this past year,
just
yep.
self-funded. For sure.
The animals can be sponsored, so that helps too. We have that option, but people have been pretty generous with donations.
Right.
Yeah, they were the neatest people, and I don't think a lot of people know that farm is out there,
Yes.
just outside of Waseca.
It
So
is.
really
It's
cool.
really awesome. Aspyn Acres Wildlife Rehab and Farm Sanctuary, located at 41251 135th Street in Waseca. If you're interested in volunteering or donating to the cause, you can go to aspynacres.com.